The time is here. It is time for my December TBR. And if you have been watching some of my book shopping videos lately, then you've been getting some sneak peeks on some of the things that are going to be in it. But if you're new here, hello, my name's Danielle, and I'm so glad that you decided to stop by my channel. I hope you'll enjoy what you see and you will want to stick around, hang out, say hello to me down in the comments for sure, because I love to be able to say hi back to you. And if you are returning, thank you so much for wanting to come back and watch more of my videos. It means so much to me. And if you are not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing that. And yeah, just join in the fun here that I've been having, and I hope you have too. All right, so I decided that December was going to be all Christmas kind of themed books because that's what I wanted it to be. And so I've been picking up some things along the way. And in saying that, I also have to be very realistic about how much I'm going to be able to read this month, because you will see when we get to my November wrap up that November was a very difficult month for me as far as fitting in reading time. It just was. Like, it was a really busy month. And so I know December is going to be far busier than November was. So some things will be a little bit different. So I might be able to read more than I did in November, but then some things might throw that totally off. So whatever, I'm not making any promises. So I do have myself a lovely little stack here of Christmas books that I am excited about, but I am being realistic about that. I will not be able to get to all of them, but I am going to share them all with you, and I'm just going to pick them by mood is basically how I'm going to read them throughout the month. So I'll get to what I do, and I won't get to what I don't. Okay, guys, I am such a dork. I totally forgot that I wanted to incorporate a readathon into this month's TBR. I have actually never done a readathon before, but I have been getting to know Ben and Lauren from the channel Youngs and the Restless, and they created their own readathon for the month of December. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do one, I'm going to do it now. This is what I'm going to do. And so I know I had said, you'll see me say it, you've already heard me say it in the video, and then I'll say it again at the end. That'll be kind of a mood reading. It still will be, but I would like to try to follow these prompts. So it's a very merry, restless readathon, and it says complete at least one prompt from each column to meet the three spirits. Then complete an act of kindness to show your Christmas spirit. And so basically they are doing the Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and the Ghost of Christmas Future. And in each of those categories are different prompts. And you just need to complete one from each prompt, or from each category, which is very doable. And then also the coolest part is how they're asking you to finish off by doing a random act of kindness. And so it's taking like just a fun little reading challenge and turning it into something so much more that I think is so special, to encourage each other to do random acts of kindness for other people, to just bring, you never know. So many people, you know, the holidays are very happy for, and there's a lot of people that they're not. And so to be able to reach out and do something special for someone, you never know what kind of an impact that can make. So thank you so much to Ben and Lauren for doing that, because I just think that is so awesome. So there's actually a printout too that they created for this. I will have their video linked down below that shows you all of this and gives all the details about it, so that you can get that printout if you'd like to too. But I'll tell you real quick what the different prompts are. So for the Ghost of Christmas Past, we have oldest book on TBR by published date or time you've owned it. So that's one you can do. Or you could do a book set in the past, or reread an old favorite or classic, or a backlist book from a favorite author. So that's for the Ghost of Christmas Past prompt. Then for the Ghost of Christmas Present, you can do a recent add to your TBR, or a book set in the present day, or a book someone gave you as a present, which I think that's super fun, or current release from a fave author. And then for the Ghost of Christmas Future, you could do an advanced review copy, so an ARC, a book set in the future, a new to you author, genre, or subject, or a book you have planned to buy soon. So I just think those are fun, very doable. I feel like with the books that I have, I should be able to hopefully fit one of those prompts, you know, for each category. So I'll have to look through and see. You can keep an eye out as I'm telling you about these books now for the rest of this video. But so instead of doing, like, worrying about volume of books. I kind of would like to, I'm not worried about it anyway. That was kind of dramatic, but you know what I mean. More so, I would love to just, even if I only read 3 books this month, but to be able to have them, you know, fill out this readathon, and of course do the random act of kindness, because that's the best part. So yeah, definitely check out that printable. It's super cute. They had a friend of theirs designed the little ghosts for each of the you know, past, present, and future, so that's super cute. I am someone who loves to cross things off lists, and so I'm thinking I'm going to stick this to my fridge. I already have it printed out at home. I'm going to stick it to my fridge, and maybe I'll just find some cute, like, Christmas stickers. I'm sure I've got some somewhere that I can stick on for the ones that I finish, because I'm a dork like that. I'm a total child. It'll never change. I'll never apologize for it. I love it. And so, yeah, I think this is just a really fun way to add a little extra something to my TBR for the month of December. So thank you so much to Ben and Lauren for creating this. And you guys, when you head over there, let them know that I sent you. Say Bookburger sent me. Just so they know that I'm sending some new friends their way. So thank you guys so much. Now let's get back into my December TBR. First up, I have a book that I thrifted called Silver Bells by Luann Rice. And I will go ahead and tell you what these are about. Every year on the first day of December, Christopher Byrne traveled from his farm in Nova Scotia to sell his Christmas trees on the streets of Manhattan. It was said that the Cape Breton trees were special, that the northern lights changed the needles with magic. But this year, there'd be no cheer for the widower and his 12-year-old daughter, Bridget. For New York City had taken Christie's only son, headstrong 16-year-old Danny, who'd run off without a trace, save a single postcard bearing a terse, unforgiving message: "I'm doing grand, don't worry about me." Christie wouldn't have come to the city at all if it weren't for the business, and to set up his trees on the corner where he last saw his son, in case Danny came back. Okay, I was very confused by this. I think they called this guy Christopher Christie? I don't know. I'm very confused. Librarian Catherine Tierney used to love the holidays, the lights, the carols, the nip in the air. She and her husband had always reveled in the spirit of the season and in sharing their own joy and love with those less fortunate. But after Brian's death on Christmas Eve 3 years earlier, the festivities seemed to start too early and last too long. Just before he died, Brian Tierney told his wife that he'd never leave her, that every year he'd give Catherine a sign. Now the season was here again, a season of separation and sadness, and Catherine wanted to rush through it as quickly as possible. On the quaint Chelsea street where she lives, Catherine will meet the tree seller from Nova Scotia. Both figured the world had forgotten the true meaning of Christmas, but they hadn't counted on finding each other, on fate, on second chances, and on a holiday gift of new love and new hope that would last a lifetime. So yeah, it must be that he goes by Christie. Anybody else? What? I'm so confused by this. So this might be at the end of my file. I picked up these next two at a sale at a library that we went to when we were on vacation. I will link that video up here for you if you want to see it. It was so much fun. We got to go into this just magical area. It's so beautiful there. And go into this library and go down into their cellar where they sell used books. It was so awesome. But anyway, this is Debbie McComer's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas. As the holiday season begins, Laura McCullough could use some good news. She and her husband Zach have been praying for a baby that seems more and more like an impossible dream, and they've had to move in with her beloved grandmother Helen, who's having trouble taking care of herself. But when Laura contacts a local home care organization for help, there are no caregivers available. Then Mrs. Miracle appears at the door. No stranger to lending a helping hand to a family in need, Mrs. Miracle reveals herself to be nothing short of a godsend. Helen's even convinced she's an angel. And Laurel can't help but notice that with Mrs. Miracle's companionship, Helen is noticeably happier and more engaged, decorating the family Christmas tree and setting up the nativity. In the meantime, Laurel and Zach encounter curious signs, all pointing toward the arrival of a special baby. As Christmas approaches, there appears to be even more to Mrs. Miracle than meets the eye. In a classic tale of Debbie McComer's signature seasonal magic, Laurel, Zach, and Helen experience a holiday of heavenly proportions. I mentioned when I got this that the reason I got it is because I have read one of the Mrs. Miracle books before by Debbie McComer, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was such a sweet read for during this season, and so that's why I picked this one up, and this one sounds like it will be just as sweet. And also from that library sale, I picked up Christmas at Cozy Holly Inn by Meredith Summers. When Julie Green's ailing grandmother asked her to arrange one last party at the old inn she used to run, Julie can't say no, even though the last thing she wants is to leave the city for middle of nowhere Vermont. Even worse, Cozy Holly Inn is in disrepair. There's a persnickety cat hiding in the basement, and the family of Grinches who own the competing inn down the street seem determined to ruin her chances of success. Nolan Miller retreated to Pinecone Falls, Vermont to heal his broken heart and help his grandfather run Barrington Lodge, a rustic old bed and breakfast that has been in the family for generations. This year, though, he needs to find a way to get his Christmas spirit back before he turns into a Grinch like his father and grandfather. But even if he gets his spirit back, he's not letting anyone in again, especially not Julie Green, who has made it clear she's leaving town as soon as she can. But when Julie needs help, Nolan can't say no, and putting the party together makes Julie realize that small-town friendships might have more to offer than big city lights. Kringle the cat only wants a warm home and is forever human. This girl, Julie, does not seem to fit the bill, no matter what the nice lady at the animal shelter told him. Julie knows nothing about cats, so he will do his best to get her to return him to the shelter. But as the week unfolds, Kringle discovers that people can change in surprising ways, and sometimes what you thought you wanted isn't what you really needed at all. So that sounds super cute. Of course, you're going to get a little bit of a romance in there, and a persnickety cat. What more could you want? I also recently picked up this book from a thrift store that you'll be seeing that video after this, so eventually it will be up, but so you're getting a sneak peek ahead of time. But this is Spirit of the Season by Fern Michaels. Joy Preston misses her beloved late grandmother dearly, but when she learns the terms of Nana's will, she's shocked and more than a little irked. Joy moved to Colorado years ago and is now CEO of a successful nail polish company. Her life is in Denver. How can Nana have expected her to give that up, even temporarily, to take over a bed and breakfast in North Carolina for 6 months? Still, there's no denying heart and soul's charm, especially at holiday time. The bed and breakfast is always elaborately decorated for the season, with themed guest rooms and dazzling lawn displays created for the annual Parade of Homes competition. The entire town takes part in the festivities, and soon, Joy is too, letting her reservations melt away. Yet there's another reason for Heart and Soul's popularity. Rumor has it that during the holidays, guests can be reunited with the spirit of a loved one who's passed on. Joy is skeptical, yet she feels her Nana's influence all around her, perhaps even indulging in a little matchmaking between Joy and a handsome estate attorney who just might inspire a magical new beginning. So, again, just a cutesy, everybody's got like some ailing grandmother or something. Doesn't it seem like every book that I'm talking about, or most of them? But yeah, so going back to this place where her grandmother has this bed and breakfast and kind of rediscovering the magic of more of a small town, which gets me every time because I am a small town girl through and through. The city holds nothing alluring for me, so I always love the, going out of the city and back to the, small hometowns and realizing like just the joy and there is in the like peacefulness of living smaller, and so yeah, sounds cute. I picked this next book up from Books A Million, and it was my first time ever going there. I will link that video up here for you and down in the description box too. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun there. They had such an amazing bargain book section. So I picked up All Is Bright by Rayanne Thane. When architect Sage McKnight is asked to renovate a house for former baseball player Mason Tucker, it's the job of her career. Mason, a famous recluse after a life-changing accident, needs his house adapted, and Sage is determined to create the perfect home. Not only that, but a production company wants to film her work, a dream come true. However, Mason is stubborn, ignoring Sage's expertise and insisting on being involved in every detail of the renovation. In the final straw, he refuses to allow any filming in his home. Sage's optimism is the complete opposite of Mason, and soon neither can agree on anything. It will take a Christmas miracle for these two opposites to find peace, but that may be just what they get. And so I think that is a really cool aspect, that she, renovates houses. He is this former baseball player who now, had an injury and is in a wheelchair. You can see on the cover there. And so his house needs to be renovated. And so she's coming in to do that. And this production company wants to tape it. Old am I? Wants to record it. Whatever. Anyway, and so he's like, heck no, and she's like, this is like my dream opportunity, and just how that's all going to work out with them butting heads. But then obviously there's going to be a little Christmas magic there. So I love that. And then these last two books I have are ones that I got at a Second and Charles in Dayton, Ohio, that I will put that video up here in the description box too. If you love watching videos about buying books, I'm your girl. Anyway, so I had picked these up when I was at that Second and Charles. So first I have Christmas at Lobster Bay by Annie Robertson. I did find out, one of you told me that there's actually a first book in this series, but I looked it up and it is very hard to get your hands on, and I would have to pay quite a bit for it. And I was like, and there's only that one and this one. So I was like, do I really need it? So I decided against it because I was like, I don't really want to pay the extra money, and this will be fine just to read for Christmas. So on a windswept Scottish peninsula, got me right there, Emma Jenkins is expanding her guest house in time for the arrival of her Christmas guests, but unforeseen problems soon turn her and her loved ones into festive humbugs. As she battles to complete the project, will it be at the expense of her relationship with Scrooge Aiden? And will she eventually, with the help of her friends, finish the house and welcome her guests with caroling and good cheer to Christmas at Lobster Bay? So, sounds cute. This one's a little thicker, but I love that it's in Scotland. That is different than what these other ones are. And then the last one is Christmas by the Book by Anne-Marie Ryan. Nora and Simon have run the beautiful oak-beamed bookshop in their British village for 30 years, but times are tough and the shop is under threat of closure. This holiday season will really decide their fate. When an elderly man visits the store and buys the one book they've never been able to sell, it gives Nora an idea. She and Simon will send out books to those feeling down this time of year and lift people's spirits through the power of reading. The couple quietly deliver books to residents in need of festive cheer, including a single dad trying to make ends meet, a teenage boy grieving for his sister, a local politician battling depression, and a retired teacher living on her own. The books begin to give the recipients hope, one by one. But with the future of the bookshop still on the line, Nora and Simon will need a Christmas miracle to find a happy ending of their own. This just sounds like the ultimate super cute. So this, I can guarantee you, will be one of my top priority, probably the top priority of any of these books to read for December. So I have those 7 books here to choose from for the month. And like I said, knowing the way November went and that December is it's definitely busier than November for me. I probably will not get very many books read. Wow, I'm struggling with words right now. But like I said, this is probably for sure going to be the top one that I want to get to. And then the others, I will kind of just go on how I feel and we'll see what I end up reading. So out of those that I showed, if you have read any of these and you're like, no, make sure you read that, please let me know that down in the comments. I'd love to make sure that I make priority anything that you know is really good. And but if there's also, in that same vein, if there's one of these that you've read or some of them that you're like, don't even bother, it's a waste of your time, please let me know that too, because then I will not waste my time. So yeah, those are my TBR choices for the month of December. I'm excited to do some light, fun, happy Christmas time reading, and this is my favorite time of the year without a doubt. I've got my All Booked for Christmas shirt here, feeling festive, and my joy earrings that my daughter-in-law made me, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit your notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I will have lots more book shopping videos because this girl can't be stopped. So if that's something you enjoy. But thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.